Okay, everybody, Sam from Road Trail Run. So we've moved to the back porch because it's getting to be winter and the light is better back here, and you can see there's some snow. So I never do my reviews inside. This is what Road Trail Run headquarters looks like. But today we're going to talk about the Brooks Levitate StealthFit number 6, 6th edition of this shoe. It is a daily trainer type shoe with a 33 millimeter now, 2 millimeters more stack height front and back, 25 millimeter forefoot, so 8 millimeter drop daily trainer. So despite increasing the stack height of foam 2 millimeters here, the weight stays pretty close, a couple tenths of an ounce heavier. So this US 8.5 is 9.8 ounces, 278 grams. Actually, there was some variation. I got 9.67 on one shoe, 10.03 on the other. That's a bit more than I usually see. The spec weight is 9.9 ounces, 281 grams. So we are below the magic 10 ounces for a 10 daily trainer. So they're available now. They're $150. It has an unusual, for a running shoe, PU or polyurethane foam midsole, which gives a nice pneumatic feel. However, the PU is quite fragile, so Brooks covers it with a coating, and the Levitate has always had a copious outsole, again, in part to protect the shoe. And now we were at the running event, and Brooks is saying, and I would tend to agree, that it's also a good shoe for the gym. Now, in terms of other changes of some significance, what Brooks has done for number 6 is they have widened the platform somewhat. Brooks has changed the outsole quite significantly with 3 broad flex grooves at the front and a deeper rear crash pad and decoupling groove. You can see here on the 5 how the rubber was more continuous. I expect, and spoiler alert, yes, I found that it's going to flex smoother and it's going to run smoother than the kind of blocky feel we had before. And they have put a new last, a new shaping, which is also broader. So I can immediately feel more room here through the midfoot. And I also feel, even though it's a stretch knit, and that's always challenging for fit, more toe box room and height. When I say fit, I mean more hold. So I've tried them on here, haven't run them yet. Fit is good, true to size. I'm wearing a thin sock here. My narrowish feet are pretty well held. Of course, it's a knit upper. I tried them on earlier with a thicker wool sock, and the hold was a bit more secure, but I felt a little more pressure in the toe box. So whenever you get a knit upper, it's tricky, but this is good. This is definitely more roomy than the prior versions. Brooks tells us they've widened the platform. They have a new last. I can definitely feel it being roomier at midfoot. Heel hold is good. I'm going to show you how that all works. You can also see that the band here gives a bit of stiffening, and it also appears to be reflective. So that's a lot of nice reflective surface on the rear. I took them along the New Hampshire seacoast where the gulls and ducks were actually walking on water or ice. The waves were big. There were a lot of surfers out. So I'm going to give you my impressions from the run on fit, ride, and then at the end some conclusions, and it was getting dark. So it's a cold day in the 30s, a bit of a breeze. So let's talk about fit of our Levitate 6 Stealth Fit. As I said, I felt it would be true to size, and it is. What I'm really impressed with is on my narrow right foot here, the hold is just as good as on my left, without the knit being totally overly compressive. I haven't had to adjust the laces yet. Everything's working well. So they're striking a really good balance here. Sometimes these knit uppers are over snug, uncomfortable. A bunch of Levitates were like that, or way too loose and kind of insecure. I think the relatively pointy toe box helps that, because you've got a pretty darn wide forefoot back of the toe area, and to get the hold, you need that toe bumper and a bit of a pointy toe, but it's not felt at all. I think even moderately wide feet will be very happy here, and especially if you have a broad midfoot, because I can clearly feel nice broad, but even my narrower, higher arch feet, good support here. Well, I'm going to keep going. So back from my first run, about 4 miles here, cold out and breezy, but it was very nice. Last comments about the upper. A very, very effective knit upper for a change, and for a change here in the Levitate. Last year I had the GTS Go-To support version, and this is not the Go-To support version. It doesn't have the rails in here, and this made a very big difference in the flow of the shoe. I think this is fundamentally a really quite stable shoe at the platform level with our outsole, because I noticed some significant positive changes there. So we've got a very stable platform with a relatively secure upper. So I think those that need a bit of stability will be happy enough in this. If you need a ton, then go to the Go-To support, which really is more focused on the knee. I wouldn't go there. I think this is plenty. Now, when I talk about stability also, you see I'm pressing here. Well, the PU midsole has, I think it's a TPU film. The film on the outside helps stabilize the shoe. Pardon my wind chimes, the breeze has picked up. And so that gives it an all-of-the-piece feel. On the run, what did I feel? Quite firm at slower paces, but much, much more energetic as I picked up the pace. The extra 2 millimeters of this now lighter DNA amp V2 provides enough cushioning. We only have 25 millimeters, but it's enough. The heel, as I picked up the pace, got a bit less firm. The feeling of the DNA amp is, as I said, pneumatic, but here it's a little more taut in feel, a little quicker even in rebound than before. Maybe it's the TPU film or the lighter foam, but there's plenty of active rebound here. So what would I recommend it for? Well, I don't think it's a long run shoe. I think it's more for your speedier, shorter runs. I think you could do speed work and maybe even intervals in it. I think it's a good choice for a heavier runner who doesn't need a lot of pronation control, because you'll have, a lot of good, dense, long-lasting cushion plus rubber to stabilize things. I think it's the best Levitate yet. It really flows along a lot better. I think this new outsole configuration with the flex grooves all the way across instead of being all separated is a big plus here. In terms of flex after one run, we're getting some. I think it'll get even more. It's $150. It comes in just under 10 ounces, 280 grams, so it's in that daily trainer category. I would call it not a plush, soft, kind of bouncy ride, but more deliberate. I think Brooks's marketing calling this in the Energized category is now much more accurate. You won't find a plush ride, but you'll find kind of a fast, kind of deliberately pneumatic one. So it's a fine choice. We're going to have a full multi-tester review of the Brooks StealthFit, the Levitate StealthFit 6 real soon over on our site roadtrailrun.com. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great run. The Levitate 6 was provided by Brooks at no charge for our test and review, and receiving this sample did not in any way influence our opinions.